Emergency management in Ireland. It seems as though the development of emergency management systems and practices are fairly new in Ireland. This may be due to the fact that Ireland just doesn't see many natural disasters because of where it is located. Although they are in a good location to miss many natural disasters, Ireland has still been hit hard by disasters and emergency situations. One of the very memorable and devastating events was the fire at the Stardust nightclub in 1981. It was the night of Valentine's Day, and it resulted in the death of 48 people as well as 128 injuries. According to Prevention Web, the top two emergency situations that cause the most human and economic loss in Ireland are storms and floods. Storms occur the most and seem to cause the most economic damages, yet floods seem to actually affect more people than any other disaster in Ireland. Eventually, the framework for major emergency management was developed. The framework details procedures for major emergencies in Ireland. The framework for major emergency management is very thorough and broken up into 6 sections covering all aspects of emergency management. Each section details everything from emergency preparedness to staff development, and it even includes an entire section on casualties and survivors. Each agency is responsible for their own risk assessment and should identify and assess their hazard risks and use their risk assessment for mitigation work. The framework for major emergency management also addresses training and exercises. Training is a very important aspect of emergency management. It is important for agencies to get the experience of emergency situations so they are able to provide the most effective response to real major emergencies when they do occur. Again, it is each agency's responsibility to have their training program in place and consistent with the provisions of the framework. There are 3 agencies that are mainly responsible for responding to emergencies in Ireland. They are An Garda Síochána, the Health Service Executive, and the local authorities. It is also important to note another emergency service group, and that is the Irish Coast Guard. They would be the ones who deal with maritime emergencies. A major emergency can be declared by the highest ranking member of each of the first emergency teams to arrive on site. They should follow a specific process outlined in their individual major emergency plan for their agency. Once a major emergency is declared, that individual must also notify anyone else who is head of services or is in some type of command or control. There will always be potential obstacles to effective disaster management. One obstacle could be not communicating or cooperating with other agencies involved. Poor communication could lead to mixed commands or a spread of confusion, which would only make matters worse. This is why doing exercises often is so important. Educating the public can be an obstacle in and of itself. It's important that they stay proactive about keeping their citizens in the know and providing them with the knowledge and tools they need to make it through a disaster. Ireland is a small country who is more recently stepping into the world of emergency management. Although Ireland doesn't necessarily deal with a lot of natural disasters, they do have their fair share of emergency situations and disasters. The framework for emergency management addresses many different aspects of emergency management in Ireland. As with any country, there are obstacles along the way, but it seems as though Ireland has been able to face those obstacles head-on and continue to develop and become better as far as emergency management is concerned. Disaster usually shapes the way in which emergency management is developed, and Ireland is no different.